name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, I bear witness there is no God but Allah, and Muhammad is his messenger. Welcome to another event, show, podcast, live, and in color you have the Jock Brothers. Thank you, Jock Nation, for receiving us once again. We're coming to you from Atlanta, Georgia, live. We have a wonderful show for you tonight. We ask that you please send your questions in, sit back and enjoy what we got to offer. But before we get to our wonderful guests, let me introduce some of the most dynamic duo that I know on the planet. This brother here, he hails out of New York City, but now he's taking over the West Coast. Let's give it up for our brother and your brother, Brother Ahmed B.I. Sir.
Alaikum salam. Thank you all for taking time out of your busy schedules. My name is Brother Ahmed. I hope you enjoy the show. We're going to get into marriage. So post your questions. Let's see if we can answer some of these questions. And we look forward to a retreat that we're going to present tonight. We have a marriage retreat that's coming up. Hopefully you still have time to join. And if you missed this one, hey, there's another one next year, inshallah. Thank you all.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you, Brother Ahmed. And the other half of the dynamic duo, this brother here hails out of Atlanta, Georgia. He's a homegrown here. He's a go-getter. My brother and your brother, Brother Kawi Muhammad. Assalamu alaikum, sir.
Walaikum salam, sir. Thank you for tuning in, Jock Nation. Another great show that we had set up for you today. We have a couple here that's carving out their own lane. They helping save marriages. So I really hope you enjoy this show. Like Ahmed said, send in your questions and sit back and let's learn something. But once again, we really appreciate you tuning in to see the Jock Brothers today. Once again, a podcast of brothers that absolutely love to get positive information out to you. For those that have been rocking with the Jock Brothers since day one, we thank you. And for those that have donated to the Jock Brothers platform, words can express how much we appreciate that. And for those that watch us every week, we thank you. And for those that would like to continuously support us and new people and new supporters, please do so, please. And you can support the Jock Brothers. You can send a donation to our Cash App that assume we scrolling at the bottom of the screen. Cash App, $ Jock Bros. Again, Cash App, $ JAKQBROS. As you know, Jock Brothers is one of the few podcasts. We might be the only podcast that actually has an active initiative that we kicked off about 3 years ago, and that is our prison initiative. We would like to circulate the Final Call newspaper through to our brothers and sisters that's behind bars. And so we asking you to get behind us in that endeavor. And so to get the Final Call newspaper to our brothers and sisters that's behind bars for 90 days, it's an $18 donation. By just simply sending $18, we'll know those funds are meant for the prison initiative. So again, you can send that money to the Cash App that's scrolling at the bottom of the screen. Again, $ JAKQBROS. Of course, we don't know 1,000. We want to get 1,000 papers out a week. That's our ultimate goal, but we don't know those many inmates. So if you know somebody that's behind bars and you would like for them to get a subscription of the Final Call newspaper, please send that information to jockbrotherviewers@gmail.com, which you see also at the bottom of the screen. If you can give us their name, the inmate number, the facility they are at, their chaplain information, that's some of the information that makes it easy for us to get the Final Call newspaper to them. So again, if you know somebody behind bars that can use the Final Call newspaper, that'd be great. We have most of our issues on the federal level, but on the state level, it's been pretty easy to get the papers we do send to those inmates. So thank you. Get behind that, please. Jock Nation. Back to you, Brother Jackie.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you. Well, I have the pleasure of introducing our real dynamic duo, the host. No, I'm not talking about Batman and Robin. I'm talking about Brother Marcus and Sister Cecilia. who has been married. Well, this is how they put it. We are in the process of becoming married for the last 30 years. They met while they were in high school. They are the parents of 6 active, I would say, adult children now, right?
Yes.
Yes, absolutely. Brother Marcus and Sister Celia are both members of the Nation of Islam. Brother Marcus is the director of the Youth and Adult Intervention Services and Training Institute. He is nationally recognized motivational speaker, definitely motivating, and trainer of both youth and adults. He's also the author of a highly acclaimed book for husband, marriage leadership, how to lead your wife, children in these troubled times. Both Cecilia and Marcus are both NOI auditors. We can explain that later. Together, they have produced hundreds of motivational CDs and other books. Sister Cecilia is a manager for Chime Solutions Company. She is also an independent consultant. Now, you're going to help me with this. Immunotech Research.
Yes.
Okay. And distributes the magnificent, help me with that, Immunical product. Immunical. Okay. Praise be to Allah. She hosts a bi-weekly internet webinar, strengthening both couples and single brothers and sisters. Sister Cecilia also provides marriage counseling to many people throughout the nation and the community. Sister Cecilia is blessed to be extremely talented presenter that will offer practical and inspirational. So we can get all of that right now. So with no more from myself, let me introduce our guests, Brother Marcus and Sister Cecilia Muhammad. Assalamu alaikum, family.
Alaikum salam, family.
How you doing?
We good, bro. We good. How are you?
We're great.
Excellent.
Great by Allah's grace.
So 14 annual marriage retreat.
Yes.
14 years of working hard to keep families together, where you have over 50% divorce rate in America. How does that make you feel now? You're 14 years in a fight. How does that feel, though, to be 14 years? I mean, you're really putting up a fight against a big opponent, this world, and you're saving families. How does that feel to know that you are engaged in a worthwhile fight?
Well, let me begin in the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, that I too bear witness that there is no God but Allah, and that Muhammad is his messenger. We feel like this is our duty to help that great one among us, the minister Louis Farrakhan. He called us out of darkness into the light of relationships. And we feel it's our duty to help that man. If we can save one, then that would be a wonderful work that we are doing. But we have served and saved thousands by the grace of Almighty God.
Right.
And we look forward to serving you at this 14th annual marriage retreat, because the work is not yet done. As long as we have one divorce in the Nation of Islam, the work is not done. And we have to be strong and gird up our loins to fight for our marriages. And a lot of us don't know how to fight. We know how to give in. We know how to give up the ghost, and we don't know how to fight for our marriages. And that's what me and Cecilia have been committed to doing for not just 30 years, brother, for 32 years. We just celebrated our 32nd marriage anniversary, and we are very grateful to Allah that he has blessed us to do that.
Oh, praise be to Allah. Well, the engineer, we got to get with this engineer giving me this bad information. Praise be to Allah. But this is the 14th annual marriage retreat. You picked Houston, Texas.
Yes.
Where you have several presenters. The student regional of Houston, Texas, of the Southwest regional, the student Southwest regional minister
Yes.
Abdul Halim Muhammad will also
Yes.
be a presenter. You
Who
have
we just heard from today on the webcast, and he was wonderful by the grace of Almighty God. Allah.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And you also have our student national assistant to the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, Brother Ishmael Muhammad, also a part of this. And you have the Western Regional Student Minister, Abdul Malik Muhammad. And of course yourself. So man, you put together a heavy team, brother. This is a real fight. So you put together a team, you're going to war, right? This is a war.
Yeah, but brother, you cannot enter into this thing without the general.
Yes,
Minister Abdul Sharif Muhammad is going to join us
Oh,
for
wow.
a session that we're going to have, because he has something that he wants to share with us on this black box. And we want to hear what he has to tell us. And so, inshallah, he will be joining us on that Thursday evening for that portion of the program. So we can look out for him. And then we also have brother student what's his name? What's his name? I'm sorry.
Daniel?
We have Sister Melissa and Brother Daoud. I'm sorry. Brother Daoud is our credit repair person, and he's going to talk about that for us. People enjoy his session. He's helped a lot of people, and we want to let you know he will be there at this retreat to do what he needs to do. And Sister Melissa is an excellent speaker. She is going to help us with the money personality, your money personality. And a lot of us don't really know what our money personality is, but I guarantee you, when you hear her, you will know what your money personality is.
And she's also the sister who is the CEO of Black and Global.
Right.
She's helping Black companies all over the country to go international. So again, look out and see the information on Black and Global. If you have a business and you're wanting to take it to another level, not just North America, but internationally, she is helping and bringing resources and opportunities for Black businesses to have that opportunity. So she comes with a plethora, a wealth of information for us as believers. And we thank Almighty God, because every year by God's grace, it gets better and better and better. And those who have attended over the last 14 years, that's why they say they come. Because they're like, we know just from previous interactions that every year is going to be something new, something more for us to look at, to dive deeper in, to help us to be successful in our marriages. We cannot say that we believe in an all-knowing God and not have successful relationships that's based in our righteousness.
And the first thing we do is start off with me and Cecilia. We're going to analyze the marriage, analyze what we've been doing in our marriage. And that is going to be very interesting for you to look at your marriage and ask yourself, how am I doing in my marriage?
Yes, sir.
How has the intimacy been in my marriage? How has the paying of bills been in my marriage? How has the communication been in my marriage? These are questions that only really you and your wife can answer, and you have to do this process with us. And we are not fronting nobody at the marriage retreat. This is not putting you on Front Street, putting your wife on Front Street. This is about you and her individually talking about your marriage together with each other. We're not trying to front nobody. This is not for you. If you are thinking that this is just for troubled marriages, it's not for that. It's for people who have been a little bit successful and they want to know how they could be even more successful in their marriage.
And we have the online portion as well, as Brother Ahmed was saying in the beginning. If they can't make it, if you cannot make it to Houston, in person, then there is the online component as well. So if you're interested in that online component, go right to the website and you will see that there, the marriagekeepers.com. The online portion is just $100 donation for all 4 days, and then the in-person is $200 for all 4 days.
Right.
Make it inexpensive.
Well, that was the question I was going to ask you. I think you really answered it, Brother Marcus. Like, who should attend?
It's open to all husband and wife couples. Let me say that again. It's open to all husband and wife couples who are striving. It doesn't matter your religion. It's just for Muslims in the nation. No, we've had Christians come. We've had plenty of different people come. Invite. If you have family or friends that live in that Houston area, let them know about it. Come on and enjoy themselves, because by God's grace, that's why it's 14 years of us doing this, because again, people really love what they receive. We've had couples say consistently, we were able over this weekend to discuss things that normally are red hot buttons for us, and we were so much able to discuss it and deal with it this weekend just from doing the tips that y'all gave us. People will take the workshop because it's a 50-page interactive book every year. Yeah. They get new books every year. And the couples say that they take what they did that day and they'll take it back to their rooms and have deeper and more discussion about it. Because again, the atmosphere is set up for you to have not a loving and interaction with your spouse, enjoying your weekend, but also able to, again, the more we put in advanced tools to help us. All of us grew up in environments where we learned what to do or what not to do when it comes to male-female relationships. So we want to take out all that what not to do and put in what we should do so that we are successful. Because at the end of the day, what it boils down to, and people say, well, what's the number one problem in the marriage? The number one problem is you. Let me say that again.
So it's not finances.
The number one problem in the marriage is you. It's our own self-improvement. You came to the marriage already packaged up with a big, nice bow on you. You were presented as a gift to your husband or a gift to your wife. Well, guess what? When they start unwrapping that package, everything comes out with unwrapping the package. So therefore, I now have to look at me and work on me. And we have to say, by God's grace, with 32 years, it's each person working on what your deficiencies are, because that's who your spouse lives with. They live with the person with deficiencies, and we have to improve that. You improve your personal self, your relationship improves.
And we have.
I love that.
Go ahead. Sorry.
No, I'm sorry. No. I love that how you take. You really took an excuse out. Because you look around, everyone says finances are the number one reason for marriage's dissolvement. But now you just pointed out to the person. Now that really takes everything else off the table now, because we can handle finances. We can deal with that. We can let me unpack Brother Jackie to make sure that Brother Jackie even understand what finances are. Do we understand what leading the household? So how is it then that you do that? How do you unpack the person? When you come there, how do we unpack the person instead of looking at, well, is that fault or this other reason? How do we do that? Like,
see, this is about personal responsibility. That's what each question is designed to get the person to do. It's about personal accountability. This is not about blaming somebody. This is about looking at you and seeing how you impact everybody in the household. You have to take stock of yourself. The worst thing in the world is the unexamined marriage.
Mm.
A lot of us have. A lot of us are on cruise control. We don't think that we need to examine our marriages. Whether you're 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 30 years, 40 years. We got somebody who comes to the marriage tree faithfully, and they've been married for 50 some odd years.
Wow.
And they look at their marriage and they always find something in what we're presenting to take a hold to. And that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to get you. Minister Farrakhan told us many, many years ago, self-improvement is the basis for community development. You want to examine, you want to change your marriage? Start with yourself. And look at how you are responding to your wife, to your husband, and the power is in your response. Because you have 10% of what happens to you, but they say 90% is in what you will do about what happened to you, how you respond to what has happened to you. And that is what the power of the marriage retreat is. The power is in the response. And we're going to teach you how to respond better to your wife, to your husband. And that's how we do the marriage retreat. And we're not, again, this is not about fronting nobody. This is not about accusing nobody of nothing. This is about your personal self, examining your own self.
And we all know ourselves to the extent, but it's nothing like agitation. A washing machine is an agitation. It's going like this, like something shaking you. Well, guess what? There's going to be trials and tribulations designed. Minister said what? Marriage is the sacred institution of marriage. The head of our relationship is who? Allah, God. So if God is the head of your relationship and you both have a personal relationship with God for yourself. Because what did the minister, Don Louis Farrakhan, say to us? If you don't have a relationship with God, two Negroes will soon tire of each other. That is so filled with divine wisdom, because if we are two Negroes and we're not being agitated and moving, and our, like we were just saying backstage with Brother Kwawi early a few minutes ago, is that the trials and tribulations, I give everybody now, when they call and say they're having marital issues, I'm sending them the article immediately from the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. And if you're hearing my voice, go Google it. The sacredness of the institution of marriage by the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. Marriage is sacred. I have to put that in my mind, in my spirit, in my walk, in my talk, because this world does not portray marriage as sacred.
That's right. And you can do what you want with this world. This world does not care if you and your spouse are together one more night. They don't care about that. Their aim in this world is to get you all divorced. And they have ads on the highway.
Yeah.
When you're on the highway, you're driving, you're thinking about getting where you're trying to go, and they got, well, you can get divorced for $399. They got that on the road for you to look at, to consider. And you seeing that every single day, and you start having problems. And the first thought, the minister told us, the first thought should never be divorce.
Right.
It should never be divorced. And I'm telling you, a lot of us are choosing divorce. And we should check ourselves, because divorce is not the answer. It's the problem. All right.
I don't. Jackie asked that question. Who should come? I don't know if that was the. Even though we got a jewel out of your reply. Would you kind of like referring to the unhappy couple, Brother Jackie, or like that?
Yeah.
So if you having a happy marriage, this ain't the spot. This ain't the event for you, like that.
No, that's.
Yeah,
but we're not going to confront your problem head on. We're not going to deal with your problem where you're going to have your problem exposed and everybody going to be looking at you and looking at him and looking at him. It's not that kind of set. We don't do that to each other.
And I'll phrase it like this. Couples who come with a problem. We've had couples at the end where we asked them for testimonials. They would say, we didn't ask any questions, but all of our issues were addressed. Because in the process of that, whether you have a happy marriage, we love newlyweds come, happily come, having issues. We've had sisters that came directly to me and said, sister, the divorce papers is waiting for us when we get home, and we took this as a last resort. And by God's grace, because when we get to break it down to where you can see yourself and your spouse sees himself, everybody see. How do we do this? By taking you through questions and having you answer. Every day you have some questions to look at and answer, and there are things for y'all to go back and put together and discuss. It's activity, interactive activity that is opening us up to first me looking at myself. Like a husband can come and say, my wife is getting on my last nerve, or the wife say this. But again, through the process of going through the questions, our conversation, the interaction, having our student ministers there, like, I mean, during Brother Dr. Abdul Halim was talking about Brother Ishmael during the pandemic. It was him that came to the marriage retreats during the pandemic via Zoom, and the wealth of knowledge and information he was giving the couples, and you see how everything the whole weekend ties into everything. Like last year, it was 2 words that was throughout the whole marriage retreat. You know what those 2 words were? The 2 words that Master Fard Muhammad left the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, which was, brother, take plenty. Take plenty. What does that mean in my marriage? That there's we're going back to, there's trials and tribulations that come, but they're coming into our relationship to make us to remain 2 Negroes. It is agitating us to become a God. Well, how are you going to become a God? I'm being agitated to move. We all comfortable where we at. We all happy where we at most of the time, but now you got a wife. Now you got a husband that want to go to the next level and the next level, and you can't stay where you are. If we were talking about what Brother Abdul Halim said today, Brother Abdul Halim, said today, where he said, we are in the time of fulfillment. So if we're in the time of fulfillment and the devil's world is going out, then what world is coming in? The world of righteousness. So how can 2 Negroes be married to each other and not move and not grow and not become agitated, where you're calling on my God nature and not my Negro nature? The God nature say, don't commit adultery. Your God nature say, don't fornicate, don't lie, don't steal, belief in the one God. See, your marriage is your trial, because it's wanting to see if you living up to what you say you believe. And we're calling that out of each other. And what we're finding is that the call is so loud, you're going to either submit to the process of that agitation in that process of marriage, or we're going to say, you know what, to heck with this, I'm out of here. I'm going to get me a divorce and maybe find the grass is green on the other side. And like they say, well, if you put some fertilizer, if you get the proper mower and the edger, you'll have a greater lawn than the person lawn who you looking at.
The grass is greener on the other side, but it's also out of the cut.
Let me answer this question.
Come on, brother.
Can I get one in?
Yes,
Brother
sir. Go ahead, brother, man.
Yeah, because he's a newlywed. Yeah,
A newlywed. All right. Let's go, brother.
let him speak, man. Let him speak.
Sir.
No, I was thinking about what you said earlier, Sister C, because that was one of the questions I had about keeping the word of God in the marriage, because I was thinking about something the other day about, the phrase we agree to disagree. But I was thinking, how about we agree to agree? If we pulling on the word of God and it's the truth, then disagreements from where we come from, it can happen. But if we pull together to pull on the word and keep the word number one in our home, then that's the truth. And there's no disagreeing with the truth.
Exactly. Absolutely. That is absolutely the case. Like the minister said, sister Aisha, her brother Imam, what's his name? He spoke today about how to eat to live.
Yes.
Brother
Yeah,
student minister, we were on a panel with him in Chicago, and he said, I would call the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan for advice when I counsel a couple. And he said the minister would say 3 times, I don't understand why 2 believers cannot get along. Going to your point, if we are basing our relationship on the teachings and we're striving to be 2 believers in that household, then brother, we're gonna agree on truth. But when one of us is, there we go again. The minister said, what did he say on his 90th birthday? We live in what?
Niggerville.
So if we live in Niggerville, then it's a constant battle. It's a constant battle. But if we're both striving to walk the same path, it's going to be smooth sailing. Now, do Negro come up in us? Of course. None of us is perfect. We constantly battle because we battling our own internal demons.
Niggerville, Georgia.
Yes, that's right. That's where I live at.
Go ahead, Rod. One of y'all.
Well, so her statement. All right. So, Brother Marcus, the jewel we got was, one of my questions was the 5 most common issues that come your way as a counseling couple, right? But then you said you is number 1, right? So that leaves 4. So now since there are 4 left, whatever 4 reasons you most commonly get, would you, being that number 1 answer, have some type of relationship with all of those other 4 issues?
Yes.
Let's get the 4 other issues first, and then tell me how you can relate to all of those. I really want to hear that.
What you're talking about, and we need to address this because these are real issues. Adultery is a real issue.
Wait, we talking about amongst
top 4, top 5
amongst our people? It is a real
top 5,
and I get it a lot. We get it a lot from people who are calling because either the sister stepped out on the husband or the brother has stepped out on the sister, but they call about what to do, and it's heartbreaking. And Minister Farrakhan has already told us this generation is marked by adultery. That's what he said many years ago to us.
And it stands true today.
It stands true today. And then, of course, the finances are part of it, a big part of it. And it's coming from you. Because if you're a man and you don't want to work, how are you going to take care of a woman? How are you going to take care of a woman if you don't want to work?
Communication.
You don't want a job nowhere. See, you got to communicate with her that you don't want to work. I don't want to work, honey.
So that's one of the breakdowns. Is so you got self-improvement, adultery, finances, communication,
Yes.
and the last one we would say is conflict resolution.
All the things that we've written on before, conflict resolution. We got a lot of Muslims who don't understand that we are not supposed to be putting our hands on each other. We are not supposed to be putting our hands on each other, but it happens all the time. And we are now looking at stuff where people have done this, and we have to correct this. So we have to correct this quickly before it gets out of hand.
And even the conflict, not just that. And again, we don't just deal with nation. Let's say that, because most people say we get calls.
It's everybody.
Right.
It's everybody.
We by Allah's grace have where we're getting calls from people who have been referred, cousins and this and that. People are referring us from all over. My coworker needs you. My this, everybody.
Everybody live in Niggerville. Niggerville, USA. I got it. Okay.
You look at this world, and again, when you think of, let me turn on my radio, let me turn on my TV. What positive shows do you see on TV? What positive songs do you hear on the radio? If you're not listening to gospel, or we have Final Call Radio, for those of us who may not know, Final Call Radio now is 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. We have to have something that infuses different knowledge in our heads, because this world wants family destroyed. They can say they're a Judeo-Christian society. No way, no how can you be. Strip clubs everywhere, bars everywhere, get drunk, get high. Now you can go in the store and get CBD or whatever else it's not what they claim it is. So because you're in this world and you don't want to be of the behavior, then now we have to feed our mind, our spirit, what is right and good. And that's the battle that we have. You go to work. You're not going to work with people who Muslim or everybody Muslim. You going in there and you hear all kind of foolishness from people, and you looking at it and you wonder how the world is wicked. Oh, you can understand completely how deep, and it's just a lot. So when you talk about male-female relationships, husbands and wives, we have to be so much on our discipline. Good morals protect us.
Mm-hmm.
Good morals. What you taking that sister phone number for? You don't have no business she needs your number for. Sister, what that brother taking your number for? You don't need. And social media, I should have said social media is a big problem why people are getting divorced and having problems. We say all the time in the workshop, brother or sister, give you a scenario. We've said it on this show before too. If your spouse has your password or don't have your password, and your phone rings and it's right in front of your wife or husband sitting on the table, are you gonna fly into the room to go answer your phone because you scared of what might pop up on your phone? See, if you live in that kind of life, that is, even people say, well, I'm not having sex with nobody, we just talking. Talking is a part of intimacy.
Right, emotional intimacy.
That's a part of intimacy. It can be physical in the sense of their minds now. Their mind is being affected by your eloquent speech.
Yes.
Well, I just want you to help me, brother, with my problems. Because, Brother Muhammad, I respect you so much.
Come on now, Brother Muhammad.
Brother Muhammad just had a fight with his wife this morning.
Peace, Brother Muhammad.
Feeling some type of way.
His wife didn't think he was his eloquent. She didn't think that at all. She didn't tell him he was eloquent.
But he teaching now. Okay, I get it. I would like to highlight one of those 5 that you mentioned, and is with the others that you mentioned. it sits small, but to me, it seems like a big factor, which is communication.
Yeah.
that's
Now, I want to know how do you handle that though when you got couples that come to you? Maybe it could be childhood, something stemming from childhood, and they're not
Most of
able
it
to
is.
communicate their ideas, and then so the result be okay. I'm gonna step out, or I don't know how to tell you. I don't know how to do finances, or what was the last one? Conflict resolution. Definitely, if you can't communicate, you definitely is not. You can't solve the conflict. So, how do you improve communication, or how do you address it at the retreat, or if you can, communication. How do you address it?
Communication is a big topic, brother.
Right,
It's a huge topic,
right.
and it's one that we normally allow Minister Abdul Malik Saeed to handle.
Yeah.
He handles it very
Okay.
beautifully, and
Absolutely.
he does a wonderful job with us
Absolutely.
with that topic. And I hope he will be with us this year
Uh-huh.
to help us again with that topic. Now, I can tell you that we have so many things that are going on with communication. Most of the time, the brother don't even know more than 400 words.
Mm.
Most 400 words well. The sister don't know more than 400 either. And so we're trying to have discussion and we got 800 words between us.
Right.
That's difficult. So the main thing is I want to improve. We want to improve everybody's desire to learn again because most of us have stopped learning. That's why the relationship is dying because we stopped learning. We don't want to learn no more. And that's why our relationship is dying.
And we also break down, like the minister told us, and I tell anybody, when you hear the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, go to any of his lectures on male-female relationships. He's going to tell us the nature in which Allah created us. You cannot get away from your nature. The Quran says the man is not like the woman and the woman is not like the man. It's our natures that are totally different. But as we grow and mature to begin to understand the difference and the similarities, then we can start to make Allah, because Allah is male and female. He studied himself to bring out his second self, the woman, and made her totally different from the man to be able to comfort and console him and be, like the minister said in capitals, a gentle challenge for him. And so when we begin to help people to say, there's a workshop we do called Men Are Like Waffles, Women Are Like Spaghetti. Men by nature are created to be laser focused on whatever objective they're dealing with at that time. If a husband says, baby, on Sunday, I'm watching the football game at 3:00, sister, know of a surety. He made up his mind. He's watching that game at 3:00. Don't come to him telling him the lawn need to be done. Don't come strolling in front of him looking sexy. Thinking you going to alter his mind. His mind is made up.
Right.
So once you understand the man deals with one thing at a time, that's how he's made by nature. The woman, you like spaghetti. You washing dishes, you cooking dinner, you doing homework with the children, you're doing several things at the same time. That's how we're created, to be the mother, the wife, the nurturer, all of that. We can multitask. The man is not made to do that. So we get into arguments off of that. Well, honey, I gave you a to-do list of 15 things. He looking at you like 15 things. Who doing that? But we say, sister, give him 3 things and say, baby, once you get those done, I have some more things for you to do. He doesn't function like you, and she doesn't function like you, brother. She is a woman, the feminine side. And you're sitting there trying to make her you, and then wonder why she don't give you the comfort and consolation because you're trying to make her into you and you're not tapping into her softer side. Brother Ishmael said this at our marriage retreat. He said, brother, I want to ask you, what type of flower is your wife? He said, is she a rose? What kind? Does she need a lot of water, a little water? What type of flower is your wife? So that means the brother, you have to be studying your wife to know who she is and how to handle her. Because again, some sisters may require to be in water all day long. But then you got some flowers who you just water it once a week and they're good. You see? So by us studying our spouse, studying our wife, then now our communication is key in that. If you know you raise your voice at your wife and y'all getting into an argument, you know, I can't do that with my wife. And the minister told brothers that, didn't he? Years ago, do y'all remember where the minister said, he said, brothers, your wife is not your private soldier?
Yeah. Yeah. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. I'm sorry. Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
Why did he say that? Because you can't talk to a woman like you talk to a man. So if you know it's a difference in tone, because you know how to use that tone when you want something, that's the tone she needs you to use all the time. And vice versa, sister. We know the tone where when we want something, baby this and baby, we're respectful, you're kind, you're courteous. Well, guess what? That's what they expect every day, to be kind and courteous and be mindful of your words and your verbiage. Are you speaking light, life, and power into me, or are you condemn, criticizing, and complaining?
Yes. Yeah, I had a question. We're taught that marriage is a lifelong struggle to become one. At this retreat, or in any of your counseling, do you teach, is the struggle something that has to be difficult? Can the struggle be happy? Can it be a happy event?
Don't you see me at my Marcus testifying? The struggle can be happy.
Struggle. Struggle, brother.
I can't answer that. Let me get that.
Good try, Hawk, man.
It's basically, it's what you make it, brother. Like we tell couples all the time, we know it's a struggle. We know it. We're told it's the minister said it's a process. It's a struggle. It's trials. It's tribulations. It's thing after thing after thing after thing. But how equipped am I to handle it in a mature fashion? And that's where the communication, the conflict resolution, all of that comes into play. We've been married since we were 19 years old. If I'm we're both 51 now. If I'm handling stuff the same way I handled it when I was 20 and I'm 51, that's a problem.
That's right. And a lot of us have not grown. You know, the problem in our community is we tell folks that you've grown when you get 21 years of age. And that's not true. Grown is not an age. Grown is handling your responsibilities.
Come on now. Come on, yeah.
Handling some bills.
Right.
Handling not just bills, because we don't want to focus you on bills, but we want to focus you on living your life responsibly. And I can tell you, a lot of us think that because we've reached the age of 21, a little bit beyond that, we are grown. But we are not doing nothing to indicate we are really grown. You got to be grown. You got to be mature to even think about what Sister Sadie was saying to us. Grown and mature. A lot of us don't want to be mature. You got to be mature to be in a relationship. Today in 2024, it's going to take you dealing with the man, the woman in the mirror.
Come on now.
You can't escape it.
You cannot escape it. You can't escape it.
You cannot. And we try to. We run from marriage to marriage to marriage to marriage to marriage. What you running from? Because has a test for you to pass, and you're not going to get away from that test.
You sure not? It will be,
Let me say it again.
it will be right
Allah
there.
has a test for you to master, and you're running from it. The trial, the tribulation is to bring out of you a God. And you can't do that just sitting there saying, like the famous thing people say, accept me as I am, my way. And so many brothers, most brothers have this mentality. It's my way or the highway. If you have that mentality, you might as well be by yourself.
Yeah.
Because you're going to be angry all the time. Because a woman is not going to always follow what you say. She's to help you to see another side of a situation.
I bear witness.
Yes. Yes.
Yes, man.
We all bear witness, brother. You know, we all have learned, because you got to be mature to even hear that. You hear a lot of things that your wife says, but do you really hear them? Do you really hear them? And see, the woman has a laser focus on you when she loves you. Ooh, that's when it's dangerous, brother, because she loves you enough to correct you, to tell you when you are wrong. And a lot of us as men, we get to the point where we don't want nobody to tell us we're wrong. But you got to be told you're wrong sometimes. And you got to respond to the wrong that you're doing in the relationship that's killing the relationship. And that's what this marriage retreat is about, to show you. It's about showing you that, yeah, she could be your best friend. She's supposed to be your best friend. She wants to be your best friend, but do you want her to be your best friend?
And my husband has what he tells brothers, your wife's influence. Can you expound on that?
Oh my goodness, the influence of a woman. A wife is supposed to be greater than your friend's influence. You have a wife there who is with you, who's loving you, who's giving you all these things that she's giving you. And are you open to her influence at all? And that's what a lot of us as men, we're not. You want to watch the game. You want to play all these games. A lot of us 40, 50-year-old men are still playing games.
Games. That seems to be an escape from reality, though.
Escape from reality. And we got a lot of stuff that we could be doing with our time. We got a lot of stuff that we could be doing, but we're not. A lot of us have become lazy. We're asleep at the wheel. We're supposed to be, as men, we're supposed to be leading our families, leading them, but we're asleep at the wheel. You ever been asleep at the wheel, brother? And you got cars coming at you 95 miles an hour, but you sleep at the wheel. That's what happens to us when we let this world in too much. And we're listening to the music, we're listening to the culture, we're not open to the influence of our wife. The wife asks you to do something, you don't want to do it. She asks you, baby, why don't we read together? You don't want to read together. You don't want to do nothing with her. See, you're not open to her influence. She is supposed to be there to help you, but you won't let her help you. You're fighting her. Because you're still fighting your mother.
Big point right there.
You're fighting your mother. You're fighting your wife because she reminds you of your mother asking you to do something, because you're fighting her. And I don't think you should fight her no more, brother. Not today. Not in this modern day and time. We can do better than what we're doing with our wives. With our husbands, we can do better. We can do better. We have to do better. We must stop divorce in our nation. We must stop divorce among our people.
Mhm.
We can do that, but we got to be willing to try to be bigger than what we are being.
And I got 14 years. Does there ever come a situation where this is just beyond us? We have to seek somebody else. How do you deal with some situations? Because I know something's new all the time.
Say that one more time. I'm sorry, because it went out a little.
Yeah.
You run into a situation where this is beyond us. We have to. We have to
Well,
seek.
That's why we call those regional ministers. We call in the ministers. We have referred couples to other ministers and say, brother minister, we have this situation. We love for your input. We have done that several times because again, there's no way, no how anyone can say, I know, I got this. Absolutely not. We are all students every day, all day. So of course you run into things where you need the help of those who can help you. And we have done that. We've referred people to professionals for different things that they have needed help with. Because again, you want to help the people get what they need. And we have no excuse today.
All
We
right.
absolutely don't.
Now, I also have run into things that I couldn't handle. So I went back to school, brother.
Yeah.
I did. I went back to school and I got me a master's degree in marriage and family counseling. I'm now a counselor, and I can help you if you have a problem in your marriage and you have any problems in what you're dealing with in your life. I can help you with that. But I can tell you this, we do refer out. We do refer you to somebody who has greater knowledge than we have. We can give them to you. But we try to handle as much of it as we can with the knowledge that we've been given by the grace of Almighty God.
All right.
This may sound basic, but we were just discussing this, especially when you're newly married, everyone's asking, how's marriage? How's marriage? How's marriage? Without involving people in your business, what's a good answer?
Mind your business, brother.
But some believers are concerned. They're concerned.
Oh man.
But everybody wants everybody to be happy. But people constantly ask, how's the matter? What's a good answer? Somebody who just don't want everybody to be in their business,
We're in the process, brother. We in the process. And then the people who are probably asking you, brother, they probably know you too. So that's probably why they asking you too. Because a lot of them may already know you. So they may be like, well, brother, we here to help you if you need some help.
But it wasn't really me. Because I give
Okay.
Yes, sir.
straight answers. I ain't got no problem.
Oh man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I'm a straight answer.
Oh my brother.
But not that I'm telling you my business. But
Yeah,
I
right.
think the same way. Somebody say, how's marriage? Marriage is a struggle. There's ups and downs.
Right.
So
That's right. Be honest, brother. That's the main thing that we can tell you. Be honest about what's going on. Now, if people are nosy, well, that's not your business.
That's not your business, man.
That's not your business.
Come on, man.
And you got to say it firm enough so they will understand it's not your business.
Right.
It's leave it at that.
Mm-hmm.
And I know we don't like straight words. We don't like you being honest with us, not too honest. We ask you how you doing. If we open you say fine, good. But we don't want you to say, oh, but let me tell you what I'm going through. No, that's not the answer that we're looking for.
Man.
So, that's the thing, brother.
All right. Praise be to Allah. Look, time is on us. We have our 14th annual marriage retreat. This is Thursday, August 29th, 2024 to Sunday, September the 1st, 2024.
Yes.
You are all invited to attend, whether your marriage is in good standings, bad standings, you having conflict resolution problem, communication problem, adultery, whatever it is. We want you to come. If you're in marriage bliss, come
Come,
and learn something.
come and
So
learn.
that's right. So we're looking at Thursday, August. This is in Houston, Texas. This is at the mosque.
Yes, all at the mosque. All of our stuff is at the mosque, inshallah.
Okay, absolutely. So you can go to this website, themarriagekeepers.com, and get more information. If you want to book your flight, get all the information. If you want to do it virtually, you can do it as well. You can go to that website. So any last words from Brother Marcus and Sister Cecilia? Would you like to start us off with any last words?
Well, again, we just want to thank you for always allowing us on your show. And again, congratulations on 4 years of the Jock Brothers. That shows your love and passion for getting out good information to the people. And we just tell people, come on, enjoy yourself. Come participate in the marriage retreat. Come one, come all, and have fun, strengthening, getting advanced tools to help your marriage. And by God's grace, but so far, by God's grace and his grace alone, that every couple that come, they say they take back something with them that they can use the whole year until, inshallah, the next marriage retreat.
Praise be to Allah.
All right. And I just want to say, brother, thank you again for all that you all do. Each one of you is a blessing to our nation. And I can tell you that one day God is going to give you his choicest blessing right in your hand. He's going to give it to you right there in your hand for what you've done. And the work is the marriage. It's working with singles. It's working with married couples. We do both works. We do the singles activity weekend. We do the marriage retreat. After you get married, we want to see you at this marriage retreat. We want to do the singles activity weekend. We had 8 couples to get in courtship. I think it was in courtship, and it was 5. Okay, it was 5. Okay, 5 is wonderful. All praises due to Allah.
1 is wonderful.
That's right.
That's right.
A lot, and I can tell you, brothers, I don't know what you're waiting on. I really don't know.
All of them are married except Kwawe.
Oh, it's Kwawe's the only one not married?
Yeah.
Oh, God. Kwawe.
My bad, man.
Ooh. Well, I'm gonna tell you, brother.
We go hard on the job, brother.
These sisters are wanting you, brother. I don't know why.
Okay.
Oh
wait, brother Kwawe can testify. How was our singles event, brother Kwawe?
Tell us, brother
It
Kwawe.
was absolutely wonderful.
And what happened?
There was at least we had like 80 showed up.
Yes,
80?
yes.
Like 80 showed up. We had normally the brothers didn't show up on this one. It was like 35 brothers showed up, so it wasn't really outnumbered. It wasn't the brothers running.
Yes.
One brother for 6 or 8 sisters. It was pretty balanced, and I think there was 13 courtship requests submitted that weekend.
Yes.
Yeah, that was in Miami.
That's what we just did in Miami. So all praises due to Allah. We are trying our best to help.
That's right.
We don't want to be the masters of it. We want to help get you all to the door of marriage. And thank you, brothers, for allowing us this opportunity to come on the show.
Thank you.
We are very determined to help you. Again, our website is simply www.themarriagekeepers.com. Again, it's www.themarriagekeepers.com. And we will be very, very happy to greet you all. Our phone number is simply 770-256-8856. Our phone number again is 770-256-8856. If we can be of service to you, please call us, and we will be very happy to see you and to greet you all. Thank you again.
Well, thank you, Brother Marcus and Sister Cecilia. Brother Ahmed, last words.
Yes. I pray that your popularity grows because we all need outlets, outside of our cities, outside of our labor, about us. We all need someone to reach out to. And I pray that your popularity grows where people can have access to you both. It's really a help to know that you're out there doing this work, and book and all the research and all the experience that you both are going through, and you're growing strong and stronger every year.
Thank you.
So we want to promote you as much as possible, to get that word out. And the information, it's just the information is just so needed. So thank you, and thank you for all the hard work you're putting in, and thank you for your consistency.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you.
May Allah
Praise
bless
be
you.
to Allah.
May He bless you in your relationship.
We thank
brother.
Allah for an example that we have that shows us how to be long suffering
There you
and
go.
committed. When we look at the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, the most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, and the
70
God
years.
coming himself, Master Farad Muhammad, what excuse we have but to continue because of those three examples that we have of how worthy our people are for health, happiness, and that's what by God's grace we strive to do.
And one more thing, when you added that credit and finance piece, it's so huge, because you can tell somebody get their finances together, and we can come to the reality of knowing. But to get the help is even harder. It's not that simple to find help nowadays. Everybody's charging for it. Everybody has scams, but that you're presenting here. We know credit might be a problem for you. We're going to bring a credit person on. We know finance might be a problem. Person on. That's so helpful. And
Yes.
Yeah, it is.
Thank Allah for Brother Dawood and his wife, Sister Simone, because believers have listened to his presentation,
That's
went
right.
back, went with him, stayed with him, and he's helped so many believers with their credit, teaching, he's educating you, and then helping you to apply what he is educating you. And believers are buying their first home. So we thank Allah for him and his wife, Sister Simone, and again, Sister Melissa Muhammad with the finance. She, by trade, she is an international attorney, a tax attorney, international tax attorney, and bringing her wealth of knowledge. And now, like I said, from the marriage retreat, she started with Black and Global, realizing her gift and talent she had, and people had told her about, and now she's helping Black businesses to go international. So again, we thank Allah for the believers, and just to know that we all are living in a time of fulfillment. We just got to know what our role is and play it.
Right.
Praise be to Allah. All right, Brother Kawi, final words, sir.
Yes, sir. Once again, I'd like to thank the Mr. and Mrs. Marriage Keeper. They've really carved out a lane for themselves, and it's really quite impressive how they come to these events totally prepared with the most common issues, that whether it's a singles issue or whether it's a marriage issue, they have it outlined. They have the graphs, the statistics, and they have everything, and then they have suggested resolutions to these issues that so many of us deal with every day, but never really heard it put in this type of way. So testament to how you conduct your particular retreats and socials. And if you haven't been to one, if you haven't had an opportunity to go to one of their events, you really need to treat yourself to that, depending on where you're at. So again, I salute you. Keep doing what you're doing, and I'm glad that, like Ahmed said, that it has grown to the heights that it has grown to. And I just pray that it continuously grow and reach new heights that you can't imagine it getting to. So thank you for what you do.
Also, Brother Kawhi, before you go, you want to mention that?
Yes. So I am one of the members of this singles committee, and we are having a single social in Atlanta, Georgia, on the 17th of this month. This is a single social with a twist.
Yes.
You would not get to see the sisters walk in. You would not get to see the brothers walk in. Two different interests, because we want to try to match you up based on your spirit, based on your mental connections. We're putting the cart before the horse. I know brothers are shallow, but we try to get you to maybe notice a sister mentally that you haven't noticed before. So it's going to be fun. It's going to be different. It's innovative. I think it's a unique concept. So you should come. And if you want to know more information about this particular social, contact me, because I do not have a flyer loaded up. I do not have the registration loaded up. But if you give me a call, I can get the information to you. You can reach Brother Kawhi at 404-671-5681. That number again is 404-671-5681. Just give you a little number. It's 26 brothers showed up. Has registered already for this event around the southern region, but we are like 45 and up deficient. So for you brothers that are 45 and up and want you a queen, give me a call, brother, so I can get you signed up. That's what I got, brother. Thank you, Brother Jackie.
Thank you, Brother Kawhi. Brother Marcus, what you laughing at, brother?
I'm just laughing. It's so wonderful that he has to call a 45-year out. He's calling them out.
Okay.
Come on, brothers. Come on, let's do this now. Our sisters are working. They need us to do what we're supposed to do.
Absolutely.
The minister said, stop being handicapped, brother. You got one leg. You need two to walk right.
Right.
Praise be to Allah. Well, look, Jock Nation, we want to thank you for tuning in. This is a wonderful event. This is the 14th annual marriage retreat, and those of you who would like to be a part of it, please contact our brother and sister, or go on the website, pull up the information, be a part of history. So we want to thank our guests for coming on and sharing with us and striving to save our marriages. So may Allah continue to bless you all and your families.
Right.
And, and like Ahmed said, can we all just get along? Praise be to Allah.